There's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. With all of the updates that are scheduled to be happening and ones that are probably going to happen in the future in the Magic Kingdom, it's easy to overlook original and classic attractions like the Carousel of Progress. The Carousel of Progress was updated in 1981 before I was born. It's still in Tomorrowland today, and to call it a classic would be a gross understatement. Now, I personally like the Carousel of Progress a lot. I really do. I think it's a great attraction, and I plan on seeing it on our next adventure. Now, there are some around who have said that it needs an update or a revamp and that the show itself is a little bit too old and needs to be brought into this century. Times truly have changed, but history remains the same, and I think it's relatively important to remember a time before refrigeration and TV and yes, even the internet. Now that I think about it, that probably sounds weird coming from someone who spends basically every waking moment of the day on the internet. At least I try to disconnect at Disney a little bit and makes videos every single day for all of my friends on, you guessed it, the internet. But it brings us back to our history, to a time when many of us, including me, cannot remember that time because either we were too young or we weren't born yet. I've personally never experienced a time before refrigeration. My grandmother has. She had the icebox and everything, but I never did. But there are some kids today who have never heard this sound. And some of my younger friends out there may not even know who this guy is right here. No, Mr. Paperclip, I don't need your help, thank you very much. So when you think about it, there are those who are older who do remember those times and can look back and say, oh yes, I do remember that. Maybe they're older and they're in wheelchairs now, or maybe with a walker or something like that, but you know, they're watching the Carousel of Progress and they say, oh yes, I remember that time, so it truly is a classic. So getting to today's topic, do I feel that the Carousel of Progress needs an upgrade or a revamp? Part of me says yes, the other part of me says no. I believe that Disney could update the animatronics and maybe that final scene to make it a little bit more futuristic. But the other part of me feels that they really shouldn't do much with it at all, maybe some very minor tweaks, but basically leave it alone. One thing I think Disney should absolutely not do to the Carousel of Progress, and it's even hard for me to imagine them doing this, is for them to put an animated film theme over the whole thing. I know it's tough to imagine, and I personally do not want to see this, but try to imagine like Stitch or Baymax or something like that, taking on the whole story and you see different scenes. That would not work. Disney, please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's not rumored, it's not confirmed, has nothing to do with anything, but sometimes Disney takes that path when you think about Frozen Ever After from Maelstrom and all of that. I don't want to see that happen with Carousel of Progress, okay? The Carousel of Progress is part of Walt's dream. He had this vision, a dream showing a family over time. He loved the story, everything about it, and I think it has a rightful place in Tomorrowland. I feel that the different scenes, the general story idea, and that classic song shouldn't be changing anytime soon. I really don't. But maybe there'll be subtle tweaks in the future. So what do you think? Do you think Disney should change the Carousel of Progress? Should they update it, revamp, maybe small change, big change, the final scene? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.